One of the great stories in the history of our Coachella Valley is how a tragic round of golf, a former president, and the king of frozen TV dinners gave us Eisenhower Medical Center, which is the focus of tonight's Our Desert Past. The story of Eisenhower Medical Center begins in 1961 on the 6th tee at Thunderbird Country Club in Rancho Mirage. W. Clark Swanson, former president of Swanson Foods.
The new Swanson three-course dinner gives you meat and vegetables, plus soup and dessert.
The company that introduced frozen TV dinners to America in the 1950s was golfing with former President Dwight Eisenhower. Also in the foursome that day was Swanson's brother and business partner, Gilbert Swanson, as well as Freeman Gosden of Amos and Andy fame. Clark Swanson, in his early 50s at the time, at the 6th tee, about 100 yards from his home at Thunderbird, suffered a massive stroke. The Central Valley had no hospital at the time. The corporate magnate wasn't able to get immediate treatment. Desert Hospital in Palm Springs was the closest facility, but it was at least 11 miles away from the country club, and he didn't make it in time.
It took quite a while for them to get the ambulance to Thunderbird, get him loaded, get him to Desert Hospital. He died in the process.
Clark's wife, Florence, was convinced that had there been a nearby hospital, her husband's life may have been saved. She became one of the first advocates for building a centrally located hospital here in the desert. And as with so many things here in the Coachella Valley, it was prominent Valley women who pushed this project forward.
The widow Swanson, Dolores Hope, who I'm sure, made sure that Bob Hope donated the land that Eisenhower sits on. Mamie Eisenhower was one of the biggest fundraisers. My favorite picture is a picture of Arnold Palmer and Mamie Eisenhower when he's handing over the check.
By the mid-1960s, General Dwight David Eisenhower had become a permanent resident at El Dorado Country Club with his wife Mamie and showed great interest in the project. And with their consent, the hospital would be named Eisenhower Medical Center. President Eisenhower died in March of 1969, just 8 months before Bob Hope presided over the November 26th groundbreaking ceremony for the hospital.
This hospital, like Ike, will be a good neighbor.
More than 4,000 people attended that day, including then California Governor Ronald Reagan.
I'm very proud of this magnificent center for healing.
Mrs. Eisenhower, Governor and Mrs. Reagan, President and Mr. Hope.
Everything good that has been built in Palm Springs usually has some kind of celebrity behind.
And if you are like me and a bit of a history nerd, no better place to hang out than the Palm Springs Historical Society. Give them a call at 760-323-8297 or just head on down there. It's right in the heart of downtown on Arenas Road between Barristo on the west side. You can't miss it.